Hello and welcome to The United Stand. This is your Manchester United Transfer News Daily, where we talk about all the latest Manchester United transfer news and give it that real fan opinion. I'm tempted to congratulate the Emmerdale Cup winners, but I'm not going to because I don't want to. So let's just go straight into Manchester United transfer news. And we're going to start off with Nicolas Pépé, simply because we'll start off with Bruno Fernandes, because I think that's what the title is, isn't it? I can't remember which one of the two it is, but two big developments in relation to Nicolas Pépé from Lille and Bruno Fernandes from Sporting Lisbon. So let's think. I should have planned this a little bit better. Okay, let's do Bruno Fernandes then to start off with. So effectively admitting that there will be a transfer. There has been, obviously the season has finished now for Sporting Lisbon. He's been dropping a few hints about, working hard for Sporting Lisbon. He said things like, look, I've got great connections with Sporting Lisbon. It makes me feel sad when I'm going to collect the trophy and loads of people are saying, please stay, please stay. It's not about money. Obviously, there's more money to be made in the game, but I can live comfortably here. It's about my aspirations. And he said that English League is the one I like the most, but then I'm already saying something. So he basically doesn't want to say what's going to happen. But by saying that about the English League, I think everybody knows he's going to come to England. And that is pretty much what the Portuguese press are reporting about Bruno Fernandes anyway, that he will be coming to Manchester. It's just a case of whether it's going to be Manchester City or Manchester United. The firm belief has been there for a long time around Bruno Fernandes. There was even an article I read on Sport Witness yesterday, again from, they were quoting a Portuguese report that before Bruno Fernandes went to get the trophy at the weekend for Sporting Lisbon, his agent took him aside, and they were even claiming that there was pictures of the moment that his agent told him that he was going to be going to England, and he was smiling and happy. But the reality is, with Bruno Fernandes, the journey he's been on at Sporting Lisbon this season has pretty much fulfilled and exceeded anything that he and the fans of that club expected of him. So he's done his job, he's shown what he's all about, and he's now about to go to that next level. And, in his own words, is that admission that the English League is the one that he likes the most, and Manchester City or Manchester United is where it's going to be. Now, I can feel the trepidation in you viewers now, and to be honest with you, you're starting to make me feel concerned. I've always said that Bruno Fernandes has always been very high on my hotometer, hasn't he? As a player I think we will sign this summer. I think he is. I think he still is. I'm still 60% sure he's going to come to United. And, 50-50 is still, flip of the coin and he could come. So I'm above that. But the reality is, with the Bruno Fernandes transfer, we are at that point now where he's coming to Manchester United or he's going to Man City. If he comes to United, Man City were close. If he goes to City, United were close. It's just down to a personal choice. We're definitely in for the player. It's whether we can get him or not. And as I've said before, if he goes to Man City, I'm not going to lie anymore. I think those days of being arrogant about, Fabinho, they never wanted him anyway, those days are gone. If they get Bruno Fernandes, he's a player that Manchester United need. And if he chooses Man City over us, can you bloody blame him in relation to titles and the football that they're playing? I just hope he looks at United and thinks what a great project it is with Ollie, what a massive club it is, massive fan base, and he comes to us, because they're the thing. Don't devalue yourself as a Manchester United fan, because at the moment we're one of the few positive things about the football club. We can't offer Champions League football, we can't offer a title run, but what we can offer is look at the size of the support of this football club it's got. We really have got the potential, if we can get it right on the pitch. This is going to be a far more lucrative move personally and financially, but hopefully that will be enough. But Bruno Fernandes, yes, coming out and saying that he didn't want to say too much about a transfer, but then said the English League is the one I like the most, and realised I've already said too much there. The Portuguese press saying he's going to be coming to Manchester United or Man City. So look, the point I was going to say as well is, I just want to say this quickly before we talk about Nicolas Pépé and Griezmann and a few others, is that there is a lot of frustration and impatience around Manchester United at the moment and signings. But when you look at Manchester United's potential players that we're looking for, most of them are involved in international football. Now, even, speculative signings like a Harry Maguire or a Declan Rice, they're still part of the England setup. So these signings, as much as we want them to be done by July the 1st, we're already walking into that scenario where we are, because I was talking last night about De Ligt and saying, there's people saying it's a bad transfer to be working on because if we don't get him, we've wasted 2 or 3 weeks on a deal where we could have been sorting others out. But it's not like you could get rid of the De Ligt deal and then go and work on Harry Maguire. Well, Harry Maguire is saying he's focused on England till the middle of June. So it's the same as De Ligt, what he's doing with Holland. So Bruno Fernandes, he's going to be playing for Portugal. So a lot of these deals are going to have to be done in the last 2 weeks of June. Are we going to get 5 deals done in 2 weeks? No, we're not. So we've all been suckered in again. And next summer, we've got to be really wary of this. The point of opening the transfer window in the middle of May is pointless. For 2 weeks of the middle of May, for the first 2 weeks, all the European leagues are still playing. Then you hit June and everyone goes on to international duty. I mean, there's not even a major tournament this year. Next year, you've got the Euros. So all this about July the 1st, I can already see straight away if we've got 1 or 2 signings in, it's going to be good. It really will. But, Bruno Fernandes, maybe it will get announced before he goes and plays for Portugal, but I doubt it. I think we'll be waiting a week or 2 with this one as well. So everything's looking like the back end of June. But Nicolas Pépé, Lille right winger, fantastic season he's had for Lille. Pretty much going to be leaving. I think the Lille chairman has said that he will go. I spoke about that a couple of weeks ago. And yesterday, reports that Liverpool and Manchester United have opened talks for Pepe. Literally only turned 24 yesterday, so happy birthday to him. Valued at around 60 to 70 million pounds. I think Bruno Fernandes, just very quickly, I think he will go for 70 million. I know Man City don't normally go above 60 million, but I think he'll be their biggest signing if he signs for them, because I think there is going to be a bit of a bidding war between United and City, and I think £70 million will probably be right for him. 60 to 70 for Nicolas Pépé as well. And look, we have had Adam on from Get French Football News. A week ago he was saying he didn't really think that United would be in for Pepe, or Pepe would fancy United, because Lille actually did qualify for the Champions League, so Europa League would be a bit of a step down for him, even though United would be a massive step up. But again, a bit like Bruno Fernandes, there is a bit of symmetry here. If we're competing with Man City for Bruno Fernandes and we're competing with Liverpool for Nicolas Pépé, unfortunately, it's a big wake-up call. We've got to take this on the chin. We could lose both of those players to perceived better clubs. We're bigger than Man City and Liverpool, we know that. But in relation to what we can offer footballers at this time, who are both are approaching like their mid-20s and want to win things, both Liverpool and Man City can offer title runs next year, and both Liverpool and Man City can offer Champions League football next year. We can't offer either of those things. So Nicolas Pépé may well choose Liverpool over us, and this is the interesting thing we face. We can throw money at the problem, and we can hope that will work, but yeah, it is an interesting one. I mean, when we spoke to Adam from Get French Football News on Tuesday night, he did say, look, it appears that United are in the race now, and that there's a few clubs in there, which is encouraging. But it's difficult for United. It's difficult for Solskjaer. It's difficult for Woodward or whoever's doing the negotiating, because all we have is we're a bigger club. But we can't give you Champions League football or a title run. But Nicolas Pépé, we need a right winger. We do need a right winger, and we need a right winger of real quality, regardless of whether Daniel James comes in, which I think he will. We do need a player like that, and he does fit the bill of being a player that's going to be coming to the next level, who's very talented, has got many years left in his career. So we'll see what happens with that. But United, we just got to try and stay patient, because we might not get the targets we want, and I'm sure we have got players lined up if we don't get those. But you've got to be. The thing is, with Nicolas Pépé, with De Ligt, with Bruno Fernandes, what do? Do you say we might not get these, so let's go and look at our second choices? You've got to stay in the ring fighting, haven't you? It's a bit like a Royal Rumble. You've got to stay in there and hope that you're the last man standing. And we might not be. We might get thrown out of the ring with Nicolas Pépé, and there's Liverpool holding the title. Man City might get Bruno Fernandes. Barcelona might get De Ligt. We might miss out on all three of them. But we might get one. We might get two. We might get all three. We've got to fight in there. The most important thing is that we keep the second in-line players, keep them hot as well, just in case we need to go there. But I think United summer's going to be like that, and we spoke about that before the start of the season, didn't we? An interesting development one, and one I really don't want to happen, is Antoine Griezmann. Now, the first thing I would say is, if you look below me, you've got Bruno Fernandes around 70 million, Nicolas Pépé around 70 million, you've got Antoine Griezmann 60 million. Look at the age differences. Like Bruno Fernandes 24, Nicolas Pépé 24, Antoine Griezmann 28, Antoine Griezmann 100 million. So straight away you're paying 30 to 40 million pounds more for a player who's 4 years older. And this is my issue with Griezmann. No doubting Griezmann's one of the top 10 players in the world on his day. Some would say he's one of the top 5. He has openly come out and said that he's leaving Atletico Madrid, but there seems to be a frustration from Griezmann and Barcelona and a reluctance to do this deal, which I think is very intriguing because he's announced he's leaving. He can only leave for his release clause. He's not out of contract. So it's £100 million someone's got to pay. He must know where he's going. He must be going to Barcelona. But Barcelona, there is reports from Spain yesterday that Griezmann's now getting angry about the reports coming out of the Barcelona dressing room that they don't want him, that the fans don't want him, and it's leading to frustration, so much so that talks have opened with Manchester United. Now, I don't want Griezmann at Manchester United. I think he'd be a very good player, but he's 28 and he's very, very expensive, and it would be a huge proportion of our transfer budget for a player that may flop, but also maybe finished in 2 years, and we're meant to be looking at building something to be title contenders in 2 years. So it doesn't make a lot of sense for United. I'd rather we got Nicolas Pépé than Griezmann. I'd rather we got Bruno Fernandes than Griezmann. That's where I'm at, because they're players that will be here for 6 years and part of the rebuild, and they're cheaper and they fit in where we need them. Griezmann, I don't actually think fits into a position we need at the moment. So I think it's. I think United may well be just being used here. I'm pretty sure he's going to go to Barcelona, and the reason I think that is you can't. I mean, he publicly announced a few weeks ago that he's leaving Atletico Madrid. You don't do that on a whim. You don't go, "Hello, I'm Antoine Griezmann. I'm leaving Atletico Madrid, and no, I don't know who's buying me." When you've got a release clause of 100 million, because people might just go, "Well, you might want to leave. I ain't paying that." He's got to be going to Barcelona. He's got to be going to Barcelona, and that could be encouraging for United, because if Griezmann's going to Barcelona, that's 100 million quid. And, think about De Ligt, what we were talking about last night. So hopefully there is something in that with regards to Griezmann, because I really don't see him. He could be fantastic for United. Of course he could. He's a good player, but I think that ship sailed 2 years ago. I think if we got Griezmann 2 years ago, we'd be in a very different position as a club. It didn't happen. Now, I think we're a very different football club. I think these Galactico signings need to stop, and we need to start building. And if you're, as I said, get in the comments. Would you rather have Griezmann or Bruno Fernandes? Would you rather have Griezmann or Pepe? Get in the comments below. Really, I do read the comments, and I want to see where you are all on that, because to me, you've got the two lads on the left, well, one in the centre, one on the left. I'd rather take them than Griezmann, and I hope that we are just being used to get the Barcelona deal over the line, because I won't cry if we get Griezmann, and in many ways I'd be quite excited by it because it's a big signing, but I don't think it fits in with what we... United fans at the moment, let's be honest with you, it fits in with the Lingard and Rashford thing. I know a lot of you are now starting to defend Lingard and Rashford from the criticism. That's absolutely fine, but the bottom line for me is the criticism of Rashford and Lingard is because they're never out the public eye. We've had a crap season and they were crap. Just be quiet for a month and come back and fight properly next season and we'll like you again. That criticism is fair, but in my mind, but what the bigger issue is that Manchester United, we've had a really, really crap season, and we know we're not in a title race next year. We know we're in the Emmerdale Cup next year. We know next season is going to be hard. It's going to be a hard season. We're not, we don't normally go into seasons as United fans expecting to have to fight for fourth. We have had to fight for fourth, but I don't think we've ever really expected that. This year, there's a real reality bite. We know it's going to be a tough season next year, regardless of the transfer activity. But I think one of the things that is giving us hope in the face of all the banter we're getting from our rivals is this story that's coming out of United, that we are building for the future, and with that we'll be buying a certain type of player, i.e. your Nicolas Pépé, your Bruno Fernandes, your 23, 24-year-olds who want to take a step up, who are really talented, who are going to come here and be part of the rebuild. That is probably what's keeping me going as a United fan at the moment, and making me feel a bit more positive. If we went and had a summer where we bought Sergio Ramos, Toby Alderweireld, Gareth Bale and Antoine Griezmann, all right, I'll back them, but I'd be like, right, we're buying two 30-something-year-old centre-backs and two wide players, granted, very, very high-profile wide players who are very nearly 30 themselves. How's that planning for the future? Are we just shirt selling again? So I think United need to be very careful about what they do sign this summer, because I'm really hung up on the fact that we are going to try and build something under Ollie over the next 2 to 3 years. And to do that, they've got to bring the right sort of players in. It might not be easy, though. It might not be easy. As I said, we'll see what happens with that. But as I've spoken about as well, I think with Manchester United and the transfer news at the moment, it really does come down to the fact that we're going to have to be a little bit patient. I mean, Daniel James, I spoke about yesterday. We expected that deal to be done either yesterday, today, maybe tomorrow. But I think even with that, it's starting to look like he'll go on Wales international duty, and then it'll be announced after that. And it's sort of like this traffic jam is forming with United, isn't it? There's all these buses waiting to come into the station, but we can all figure out, if we did get De Ligt, it's not going to be announced till the middle of June. If we did get Bruno Fernandes, probably not till the middle of June. Daniel James, looking like the middle of June. Harry Maguire, if we were in for him, after England duty, middle of June. It's all starting to look like that. Everybody we're linked to seems to be a player who's now got international duty to focus on. And that means that United are going to have a 2-week period in June where they're going to either sign a lot of players. I mean, sell's right as well. When are we selling the players? Maybe we could use this couple of weeks to sell some players. I don't know. But it's starting to back up. And I think this naive belief that we thought we were going to get all our business done by July the 1st, it's not going to happen, is it? It's not going to happen. We literally got like 30 days to sign 5 or 6 players and sell 6 or 7. I don't see it happening. I think it will happen, but I think it's going to be trundling into July. And Alexis Sanchez as well. Will we sell him? Now he's part of the Copa America team. He ain't going to be on pre-season. It's ridiculous, isn't it? One player that actually probably, if he's staying, needs the pre-season with us on the tour. He's playing for Chile. You can't knock him for that. But he did have a major injury at the end of the season and somehow gets himself fit. I don't know. Anyway, coughing fit at the end. That's time to stop. It's gone down the wrong hole. That's what she said. Anyway, please do drop a like on the video, subscribe if you're new, and get your comments in below. Big topics today. Would you take Griezmann over Fernandes or Pépé, or do you think we should be going down that route? Get your comments in below. Thanks for watching. Oh, dear.